Hi and welcome back to my channel. I really appreciate you guys coming here and watching my videos. I'm here on this channel to provide lots of information, tips and tricks and some inspiration for all things swimming lessons for children. So in my previous videos of this almost like a mini series, this is directed really for those that are new to swimming lessons or swimming teaching. You've newly qualified and you're looking for some answers and some guidance. And the last couple of videos, I've gone through, this will be in the description below, but I've gone through basically what questions to ask before you start your swimming lessons. So you've had your interview, they've welcomed you on board, and the next step then is for you to ask these questions ready and be armed before your lessons start. So this is really important. And then another video that I've just done as well will be about what to get for yourself before your lessons start. So make sure you check those videos out as well. In the description below, this will be in the list. What I mentioned about in the previous video is about your mini kits list. So there's equipment list. I mentioned about planning and planners, and I've given you this little freebie here about different lesson activity ideas sheet, and a page of what's in the lesson planner, which will be in the swimming planner that I've designed that I went into in the previous video. And what I'm going to go on to next is actually some useful resources that you might find helpful for looking into over the next period of time, as and when you're going and being in and experiencing your first time of lessons. Now, the first thing first is I've got on here is that I have put a community together on Facebook. It's a private page, and there's teachers from all over the world of where they are part together, of where we swap ideas, and if you have any questions specifically. And it's a really great place to be on for that reason. So it's called Swim Education. I'll put the link in the description, but it's the Swim Education Facebook community page, and that's led by myself. And I actually started it over COVID, and it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and so many lots of cool things that are on there. So make sure when you do go on there, you scroll back just to see because it's been going for a number of years, just to see what other great information is on there. All right, and there are other swimming teacher network sites too. So in Facebook primarily, really, if you search either aquatic or swimming teachers, or swim schools or swim networks, then it will come up. It might be specific for your country, or it might be specific for if you're a swim school owner or swim school manager or supervisor. Just have a look, and there are quite a few out there, so just make sure you join those as well. Also, the other resources that I have done myself that why not tell you about it, is that I've got a couple of books that I have written, and I wish I had these myself when I was starting out. But what works nicely with the planner is that this book here, which is called The Aquatic Adventures for Tots, these give you my most favourite, or the most popular themes. So if you're liking to do a theme, which you will end up wanting to do, I promise, because your lessons will start, you'll be doing the same thing over and over again, which is really important to do, because I talk about that actually in my workshops and online courses that I also do have available for you. But having a theme is really great, and it's really quite exciting for you as well. So in this book here, there are different activities to do for that theme. And you can change up the theme. You can use the activity and then do it for a different theme. That's fine. It can be transferable. But in this book, it will actually tell you, and it will actually say on here about what activity it's for. So this specific one is for a balance activity, and it gives you the instructions as to how to conduct that specific activity. But then it works well with the activity sheet, idea sheet that I provide, because then you can work your way through this sort of section. And then if you're looking for a breath control activity, for instance, then there's one in here. And it also gives you some songs and things in here too. So there's loads of songs in here actually. So this will provide you with a lot. It's a fantastic resource. There's a little bit of extra information in there too, which will help you along. The other one that I have too is for if you are teaching higher stages. If you go on to watch any of my other videos, you will quickly find out that I am a play-based approach advocate. And I highly recommend that right from the get-go, you start using this type of way of teaching, because based on child development, and again I'm going to go through all the books that I've read to help you to with regards to play and singing from the same song sheet of the children, what they need, and how you keep them engaged and enjoy the lessons, because if they're enjoying it, you're enjoying it, if you're enjoying it, they're enjoying it, and so on. So even for the higher stages, say for instance they are confident with doing the 4 strokes or 3 strokes in particular, then there are some really cool games, and you don't necessarily have to leave them to the end. There is a lot of learning going on throughout, so it does actually explain in here about why it's really beneficial to add lots of games throughout your lesson, not just at the end. But there are 52 plus there's a few extras in there, but 52 games in this book for you. That's basically one a week. And you can transfer it over, so you can adapt it to the younger ones too. So those 2 resources there. Then there's also this book here too, which is called The Tender Steps, and this was actually written really for parents that may struggle finding a swim school that's suitable for their children. But this will give you the sort of basis of what I would be recommending the parents, and it goes through different levels. So depending on where you are in the world, you'll figure out what level according what you're teaching will be in here. There are requirements that it says. So say for instance level 3 requirement, it will tell you what they're needing to do to be in this level, so you'll be able to work out where you need to go. But it gives you about holds, about how to hold when you are working with parent and toddler and babies. It goes in here about using what equipment to use, how to use it, and progressions. So if they're working on something right from the beginning, so they're very new true beginners, sorry, then you know what sort of progressions to do next. And it goes information about flotation devices and what I would recommend in there. And it goes into other stuff in here too. So I've actually had quite a lot of swimming teachers that have bought this book too, because it also gives them so much information of what will really help you, like with submersions and so forth. There's again a song list in here. And I just wanted to show you the lesson planner in here. So what I've shown you is let me get it so I can show you what I mean. But there's the sheet that does the list, but then it also goes down here about where you can pick and choose, and it gives you an example of what you can do. But again in here it will take you through it. So I'm doing a breath control activity, and it will refer back to that list of breath control. So if you're looking for a kicking practice, then you can go through to the kicking practice page and wherever I can find it, and it will give you an example of what to do for that kicking practice. Can't find it, but there you go, front kicking activity. All right, so then it will give you like a go get game and things like that for you to do. So like I said, that is a really great resource for you. Like I've mentioned, quite a fair few teachers have bought these books, and you can get them actually as a PDF on my website too. Right, so other resources over the period of time. Go to the library, you may be able to find these on the library. I've bought them because I reread them, and every time I read them I get something new from them, depending on my state at the time, you know, on my mindset, and what I'm looking for. But I will do a list of these books, but just to give you an example, I've written on here who I would recommend. But for instance, will be somebody called Sir Ken Robinson. He's actually Sir Ken Robinson. Unfortunately, he's passed away. I think it was maybe 2 years ago or last year, and he was such an amazing man. He has just left such a legacy, and I truly admire him as a person. And he actually talks about a different progressive approach to education, which I really feel is really interesting to read if you're into that. And I really, again, highly recommend. It's something to learn right from the beginning, because we, you know, again, we're in service to the children. So how can we provide a lovely swimming lesson that is geared towards water safety and teaching them that side of things? We want to learn their skills of front crawl and backstroke, absolutely. But how can we plan our lessons together to make it you know, relative to those variety of swimmers that you're going to be getting through. So he is amazing with that. He's amazing. So Ken Robinson. I've put Jill Connell down here. She writes books with regards to movement, and I do a whole workshop and whole loads of information about this. But she talks about moving and playing while child needs to move. I always say that the more the child moves, the more they are learning. So again, this is really, she does a lot online too, so looking into her I would recommend. Peter Gray I've got on my list here as well, so Ken Robinson. Peter Gray, where are you? I definitely do have one. Here we are. So Peter Gray, he again, it talks about how we can sort of teach differently. How can we facilitate our lessons and our time with the children to the best that we are, you know, doing things relative for them, and sort of trying to think about it being more child-led as opposed to being you telling them what to do all the time. So trying to think about other ways that you can put your lessons together rather than it just you know, telling them all the time as to what to do. How else can we bring it in? So another guy is John Holt. Got quite a few of his books here. Again, pretty much on the same wavelength of that. Got a number of books from John Holt. 3 ones there. I'll put those down there. On my list here then, I've also got any other type of research that's based on child development. So got Gordon Newfield. I've got Tina Bruce. She is amazing. I've got this fantastic book as well that is about preschoolers. So if you're teaching preschoolers, it's brilliant. I loved reading that. Then also swimming. I mean, again, there's not really anything to do with swimming with all this, which is hence why I'm trying to put all this information together and why I'm writing my own books to put all this information together relative to swimming. But I love Rob and Kathy McKay. They are based in America, and this is probably one of the first books that I ever got. Eureka. She is a lovely lady as well, specifically more really for babies, but it's an interesting read, and talks about trust and relationships in the water, which can be transferable. Then also I've got this one here, How to Teach Your Baby to Swim. Again, it's really more geared towards babies. However, you know, if you are teaching babies, that's another great book to read. So those were swim specific, apart from the ones that I have done, which goes into more detail for the sort of full ranges really of swimmers that you'll probably be teaching. Other ones that I have here, I'm massively into play. So I've got this book here. I've just started reading about the evolutionary of play. Absolutely love Lisa Murphy. I'm halfway through this book and love her, whatever she's done, all her work that she has done. Oh my goodness, there's so many others. I do a play and swim mini course, and it's £1. And so I recommend that you take that course too, and that will give you an idea as to what I mean by play-based approach. And then what I also find useful is this brilliant book by Karen Shaw. I've actually got a free webinar that's actually on this this YouTube channel, where we talk about the sort of the key person with having a trusted relationship and transferable skills of parenting skills, but it can be transferred being a teacher, because we're working with the children and it's knowing and understanding them to be able to provide the best we can throughout their swimming lessons. So again, that's another useful book to either get or to find something that's similar to. Parenting books are always really quite good to read, because it gives you an insight as to you know, parents parenting their children, which you're effectively doing but in teaching swimming. Also, what I've put down here is I have done a water wisdom workshop that is online. It's £15. There are over 7 hours worth, I think, of video time on there, going through all the different reasonings why I think water wisdom is imperative to know about. And if you start right now you're new to all this, having this information right from the start is really great to have. So I hope that's helped. That is also the list that's there for you to refer back to. And make sure you check out my next video. Take care.